Slow down, Siham.
If they want Bashu's wool, I get all the money, right?
Well, you raised him.
What'll I buy? I never had money before.
Oh no, he doesn't look well.
They told me I'd find help here in Mecca.
And you have.
Siham!
Papa, where are you going?
We can't just leave. We have to take care of this man first.
But what about Bashu?
Remember what the Quran teaches about charity, Siham. For those who give in charity, men and women, and loan to Allah, a beautiful loan, it shall be increased many-fold. If we don't live by that, well, then we're no better than the people who used to rule this city. You know, Siham, Mecca was a different place then. Hundreds of idol gods surrounded the Kaaba. And for people who were poor, like myself, life was very difficult. Why, thank you, sir.
Look at all these people. The most successful pilgrimage in years.
Good thing the gods are here in Mecca. Some of these pilgrims aren't too bright. They're paying twice what the goods are worth.
No. It's true. We'd be stupid not to raise the price on everything.
What has become of our charity? These pilgrims are on a sacred journey to a holy place. We used to take pride in supplying water and shelter for the faithful. Now, it seems, we pride ourselves in taking advantage of their devotion.
I won't listen to this.
He's Abu Jahal. Abu Talib is our leader.
Yes, and he's my brother. But that doesn't mean I have to sit here and listen to false accusations.
The pilgrims would dry up and blow away if it weren't for us. We're worth 10 times what we take. He thinks he can lecture us just because his clan takes care of the Kaaba.
We must change our ways.
Careful, Abu Talib. Change can be dangerous.
Little did Abu Talib know that the nephew he raised, Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, was about to change the world forever. For at that time, at the age of 40, he was climbing toward a cave outside the city, to be alone, to pray and ponder. He was troubled by all the injustice of Mecca. Slavery, the mistreatment of women, greed, gambling, the sacrificing of babies, and the reliance on idol gods made of wood and stone. Not the one God of Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. So as he did every year, he came to that cave. Suddenly, he was surrounded by light. When he looked up, he saw the Archangel Gabriel standing before him. He was speechless. "Read," said the angel. "I don't know how," was the reply. Gabriel repeated his command 3 times, and each time the reply was the same. And then Gabriel taught him, "Read in the name of your Lord the Creator. He created man from a clot of blood. Read. Your Lord is the most bounteous who taught the use of the pen. He has taught man what he did not know." And then Gabriel vanished. Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, shook with fear and confusion. He stumbled out of the cave and ran for home. He doubted what he had seen, but on his way down the mountain, Gabriel appeared again and said, "Muhammad, you are the messenger of God, and I am Gabriel." He tried to turn away, but no matter where he looked, Gabriel was there, repeating his message. "Muhammad, you are the messenger of God, and I am Gabriel." Once the angel was gone, Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, struggled for home. When he finally arrived, he was shivering. He asked Khadija to cover him. He told her everything he had seen and heard. He told her he feared for his sanity or that he had become possessed. But Khadija assured him that God would not allow an evil spirit to overtake a man like him, who had always told the truth and cared for the poor and needy. Soon after, Khadija went to her cousin, a religious scholar, and told him what had happened.
Your husband is a prophet of God. The people will accuse him of lying and many other evils. Oh, and he will be cast out.
Despite her cousin's warning, Khadija believed all her husband had told her, and she never hesitated in becoming Islam's first believer. And soon, others followed. For 3 years, the prophet,
peace and blessing be upon him, preached in secret. It was during this time, Siham, that I first heard his teachings.
I'm not sure we should be doing this.
You have to hear him, Mother.
We'll be all right, Jalila. Inside, quickly. There's more tonight than ever before.
Thank you, Jeff.
Where do you go every night?
To hear a prophet of God. What a feeling to learn the way of Islam from God's messenger. Peace and blessing be upon him. His revelations, the Quran, offered the most beautiful words we had ever heard. He taught us all the gods of Mecca are powerless. There's only one God, the God of Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. And you have to surrender everything to him. There's no such thing as rich or slave in the eyes of God. All are equal. And the poor aren't to be put down and despised. They're to be cared for. The Quran says, in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Women aren't possessions. They're God's creations and just as important as any man. Respect them. The earth is a gift from God. Treat it gently. You are its caretaker. And remember, you will all be judged according to your deeds. Many became Muslims that night. We showed our faith with a simple pledge.
There is no God but God, and Muhammad is his prophet.
There is no God but God. And Muhammad is his prophet.
No God but Allah.
And Muhammad is his prophet.
Powerless. Powerless, he says. A slave says all the gods are powerless. Now, what do all of you say about Muhammad's harmless teachings?
Our nephew preaches against us, Abu Talib?
We also believe in an almighty God.
Well, yes, but we don't say all the rest are worthless.
What harm can be done by it? Those who listen to him are the poor and weak.
Not all. They have been joined by Abu Bakr. Oh yes, Muhammad's mighty friend has also deserted us.
He's only one man.
No! He is the first spark of a flame that must be extinguished.
Yes.
If Muhammad's preaching becomes popular and the gods are abolished, there will be no pilgrims. And if there are no pilgrims, there will be no more us.
The messenger of God has sounded the warning call.
What? Is Mecca under attack?
I don't know. Come on. Sumaya, come to the Kaaba. Hurry!
Yes, sir. Quickly, come.
What's going on?
I don't know.
There he is.
Up you go.
See the messenger of God, Huda? There!
He's about to speak.
And then the prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, "O people of Mecca, if I told you there is an army behind the hill coming to invade us, would you believe me?"
We would believe anything from you, Muhammad. You've always spoken the truth.
And so he continued, "O people of Mecca, I beg you, abandon your gods and worship the one and only God. Save yourself from the fire of hell, for I cannot keep you from God's punishments. I am only like the man who sees the enemy coming and goes to warn his people of the approaching danger in order to save them."
Our nephew is making a fool of us. Stop him, Abu Talib. Woe to you, Muhammad. Have you assembled us for this?
Isn't it wonderful?
Do you believe this man?
Oh, yes. Every word.
He's leaving the hill. Let's go join him.
Abu Talib, we have the greatest respect for you. But time and again we have pleaded with you to stop your nephew's preaching. And you have done nothing.
He's threatening the peace in Mecca.
A few years ago, He brought peace to Mecca. You praise his wisdom then, Abu Jahl. Remember when the Kaaba was being rebuilt? We were about to kill each other for the right to place the black stone. But Muhammad came, and...
The point is this!
Abu Jahl.
Stop him, or someone else will!
Out! Do you want bloodshed and fighting among Quraysh? Out now! You can see my situation, Abu Talib. It's getting more and more difficult to keep the peace. Please, talk with your nephew.
For the peace of Mecca, I will talk to him. Muhammad, close the door and come in. Please, sit. Son of my brother, Quraysh demand that you stop your preaching. If you don't, I fear I cannot protect you. I am an old man, Muhammad. I cannot fight these people, my own neighbors, my own tribe. People we have known all our lives. Is what you preach so important, Muhammad, that you and I must die for it? That there must be bloodshed in the city? For the peace of Mecca, stop your preaching.
This made Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, very sad. But he answered, saying, "If they put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I will not stop what I am doing. I will continue until either the word of God prevails or I perish in the process."
Muhammad, say and do what you please. This uncle will never abandon you. Not now, not as long as I live.
Ah, it's good to see you again, Amr. All these gifts are for you. Your generosity is overwhelming. You deserve much more. I understand you are concerned about these few who have emigrated from your city.
Rebels, sir. They stirred up trouble in our city, and they will do the same in yours. Let us do the favor of taking them from you.
They seem peaceable enough to me.
They have created a new religion which means to destroy all others.
How do you answer?
Dear King.
Bow to the king.
We bow to no man, sir. Only to our God.
You see, dear king? Anarchy already.
I let it pass. I'm more concerned about their attitude before God than before me. Continue.
Not very long ago, dear King, we were people living in ignorance. Then God sent us a prophet. He called us to worship one God and to always tell the truth. He asked us to love and care for our parents, to help our neighbors, and give to the needy. He taught us that our time here is brief and that everything around us is a trust from God. The earth, our bodies. We must take care of them, and we will stand before God in a coming day and answer for our deeds.
What they teach, Amr, is the gospel of Jesus.
No, dear king. They do not respect your religion. They say that Jesus is not the Son of God, but merely a man.
Of Jesus, we say what our prophet said to us, that he is the servant of God, his messenger, his word, and his spirit which he cast upon Mary, the Blessed Virgin.
What we believe and what you believe are like these two beams of light, separate yet coming from the same source. I would not give you up for a mountain of gold. You may live here as long as you like. As for you, Amr, take your gifts and return to Mecca.
Messenger of God, please, say you'll come to Yathrib. Our city is filled with bloodshed, brother fighting brother. Only you and your message can bring peace. Say you'll come. If you do, we promise to protect and defend you.
God has opened a door, O messenger of God.
The prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, accepted. And he instructed all of us to leave for Yathrib. Later that night, before leaving for Yathrib, the prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, looked down on Mecca. It was a city filled with memories for him, where his children were born, where his wife had died. He said, "Of all God's earth, thou art the dearest place unto me, and the nearest unto God. And had not my people driven me out, I would not have left thee."
He is coming! The prophet is coming!
For the first time, we were able to worship without fear. The days were long and filled with hard work. But oh, we were happy.
Now be good, Huda. Mind your teacher. Come on, Hadi.
I'm gonna stay here and help Papa and Malik build the mosque.
After your lesson. The prophet says you must learn to read.
Oh. Hi, Papa. Hey, Papa. I'm gonna stay here and help.
Lessons first.
Oh. And bestow plenty upon its people.
Incredible.
Can I go to the mosque now?
You may, Hadi.
And
Bestow.
Oh, bestow plenty.
For my children's teacher.
It's beautiful.
Messenger of God, let me carry that. You're the prophet.
It's time for you to take a rest. The prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, taught us that all Muslims were brothers and sisters, one community standing shoulder to shoulder in prayer. And he wrote a document declaring all people in Yathrib would live as equals, in peace, regardless of race or religion.
What is it?
He's calling us to prayer.
Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.
Mama, are we the happiest people who ever lived?
What do you think?
I think yes, because
Yathrib was renamed the City of the Prophet, El Medina.
Abu Lahab,
You've returned.
I've paid my debt. One last thing you should know. God fights on the side of your nephew.
Help me. No one will help me. Please.
He's coming here? Without weapons?
He knows we can't crush a peaceful pilgrimage. All of Arabia would rise up against us. Blast him! Blast Muhammad!
There is nothing we can do. Let them in.
What? Bear the shame of letting Muhammad worship in Mecca?
It's over. It's over.
I'm sending Suhail. I'll let him promise the world. But the Muslims will not enter Mecca.
We suggest a compromise. A peace treaty. We promise not to attack any of your people, and you promise the same. For 10 years.
We will be allowed to enter Mecca. Worship at the Kaaba?
Oh, most definitely. Starting next year.
You came back without even entering Mecca?
But we will next year, and every year after that. For 10 years.
For 3 days at a time.
To have 10 years of peace. 10 years.
Yes. The message of Islam can travel far in 10 years.
آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من
Many Muslims have been killed. They have broken the treaty.
The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, decided. It is time to return to Mecca.
Yes, Messenger of God.
We are ready, Messenger of God.
On to Mecca!
Forgive us. We have been cruel and unjust. We have stolen, tortured, killed. We will not, cannot resist you any longer.
The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, there will be no executions, no purges. Mecca will be healed by the spirit of Islam.
I'm certain it will. And I too must witness that there is no God but God, and that you, Muhammad, are his prophet. I'll prepare the city. I am glad that despite my best efforts, I can say Muhammad lives. from rulers to the simple robes of Islam. May it always be so.
You're free forever now, my friend. Both body and soul.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Home at last.
Thanks to God.
I'll never forget the feeling of that day. It was filled with indescribable joy. A few years later, in Medina, after a short illness, the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, died. He was 63. He always lived a simple and humble life, giving everything he had to the poor.
I wish I had met the Prophet. I wish I had heard him speak.
Yes, but the words of God live on.
Where will you go now?
I don't know.
I know. Maybe you can stay here and work in Mecca. What kind of work can you do?
It's beautiful.
I used to have a loom like yours, but I lost it. I lost everything.
If he had some wool, he could use our loom, don't you think?
Yes. Yes, he could.
Sir, you can have Basher's wool.
No, it belongs to you.
No, it belongs to you now. Come on, we'll take him to the market together.